Hello guys, welcome to Wargaming TV. How are you guys doing? And I continue with my series of History of Civilizations in Age of Empire 2 Definitive Edition. And I've done Aztecs and Berber. If you haven't checked those videos, make sure to check them out. And now we are going to see the Britons. Okay. As you can see, knight in the shining armor with his horse, very chivalry like. Alright, following the withdrawal of Roman legions to the Gaul, modern France, around 400, the British Isles fell into a very dark period of several centuries, from which almost no written records survive. Oh, the British Isles fell into a very dark period of for several centuries, from which no. Alright, so I guess there were a lot of battles during this period. Survival of the fittest. Survival of the fittest. What am I talking? I have a cold, by the way, so my voice may be a little bit different. The Romano-British culture that had existed under 400 years of Roman rule disappeared under relentless invasion and migration by barbarians. So by barbarians, these guys mean the Germanic tribes and the different European tribes. And what else? Celts came over from Ireland. A tribe called the Scotti gave their name to the northern part of the main island, Scotland. Saxons and Angles came from Germany. Frisians from modern Holland and Jews from modern Denmark. I'm pretty sure I have pronounced everything wrong, but that's fine. By 600, the Angles and Saxons controlled most of the modern England. By 600, Angles and Saxons controlled most of the modern England. By 800, only modern Wales, Scotland, and West Cornwall remained in largely Celtic hands. Okay, so Celtics means the William Wallace Celtic people, for those who don't know. William Wallace was from these Celtic, what can I say, clan, tribe, civilization, whatever. New inhabitants were called Anglo-Saxons from the Angles and Saxons. Angles gave their name to the new culture, England, from England, of course, and the Germanic language they brought with them, English, replaced the native Celtic and previously imported Latin. Despite further invasions and even a complete military conquest at a later date, the southern and eastern parts of the largest British Isles have been called England, and its people and language English ever since. I already know this, so I'm not surprised. It's very surprising for other people. When I heard this for the first time, that it was because of Engels that it is called England and English, that was very surprising for me. I thought English was like very widespread language like since ancient times, but that's not the case, which is kind of weird. Engels came from Germany. I mean, what? Anyways, in 865, the relative peace of England was shattered by new invasion. Danish Vikings, who had been raiding France and Germany, formed a great army and turned their attention on English. Within 10 years, most of the Anglo-Saxon kingdoms had fallen or surrendered. Only the West Saxons, modern Wessex, held out under Alfred, the only English ruler to be called the Great. Lol. Only English ruler to be called Great. England was divided among the Vikings, West Saxons, and few other English kingdoms for nearly 200 years. Viking half was called the Danelaw under the Danish law. Oh, sorry. Oh. The Vikings collected a large payment called the Danegeld, the Danes called to be peaceful. To be peaceful? What do you mean? Viking half was called Danelaw. Okay, so the island was divided among Vikings, West Saxons, and few other English kingdoms. The Viking part of the island was called as Danelaw, that is under Danish law, and the Vikings collected a large payment called Danegeld, the Danes called, to be peaceful. To be peaceful, what do you mean? The Danes became Christians and gradually, so in the Viking series you have seen this, I guess. The Vikings came and looted Europe, and later the Christians sent their missionaries to England, and the guy became Christians and gradually became more settled. In the time the English turned on Danes, and in 945 the last Viking king of York was killed. England was united for the first time under an English king from Wessex. Oh, treachery, I guess. In 1066, the Witan King's Council offered the crown to Harold, son of Earl of Wessex. Two others claimed the throne: Harald Hardrada, meaning the hard ruler, King of Norway. Two others claimed the throne: Harald Hardrada, meaning the hard ruler, King of Norway, and Duke William of Normandy. The Norwegian landed first near York, but was defeated by Harold at the Battle of Stamford Bridge. By the way, you guys from Britain, make sure to comment down below any mistakes I'm doing so that I'll get some new knowledge, I'll improve, and also our other viewers will get to learn something new. The battle seesawed back and forth all day, but near dusk, Harold was mortally wounded by an arrow in the eye. Oh, over the next 2 years, William now, the Conqueror, solidified his conquest of England. Oh, I skipped this part. The Norwegian landed first near York but was defeated by Harold at the Battle of Stamford Bridge. Immediately after the victory, Harold force-marched his army south to meet William at Hastings. I have played this Battle of Hastings. It's amazing. The battle seesawed back and forth all day, but near dusk, Harold was mortally wounded by an arrow in the eye. Headshot. Over the next 2 years, William the Conqueror solidified his conquest of England. During the remainder of Middle Ages, the successors of William largely exhausted themselves and their country in a series of confrontations and wars, attempting to expand or defend land holdings in France. The 100 Years' War between England and France was an on and off conflict that stretched from 1337 to 1453. It was triggered by an English king's claim to the throne of France thanks to family intermarriages. The war was also fought over control of lucrative wool trade and French support for Scotland's independence. Oh, so Scotland was like, we'll not hit you, but your own neighbors, okay, will turn your neighbors against you. The early part of the war featured a string of improbable yet complete English victories, thanks usually to English longbowmen mowing down hordes of ornately armored French knights from long range. This line is very important. This we get to play a lot in Age of Empires. Longbowmen, Britain's longmen, they are one of the most, my favorite units in Age of Empires 2. English could not bring the war to closure, however, and the French rallied, inspired by Joan of Arc. Oh, I've played her campaign too. Very tough campaign, but very adventurous. I like this campaign. A peasant girl who professed divine guidance, the French fought back, ending the war with the capture of Bordeaux in 1453. Again, pronunciation is butchered. The English were left holding only Calais on the mainland, and not for long. Alright guys, this was the history of Britain. This is kind of like the things known about Britain for 400 years. I'm not sure we are supposed to call this history or not. It's more like for the other factions, like we know this, but for Britain's history, it's like we don't know these things. I don't know how we are going to call this a history lesson. So what am I supposed to take from this? So first there was some Roman rule over Britain. Then for 400 years there was lot of fighting going on. Then the Celts came from Ireland. Saxons, Angles. This is very hard to understand and digest. Like lot of mix up and lot of fighting, and no wonder these British people are very aggressive and very dominant in their nature, you know. You British people are very aggressive people. By the way, brush your teeth, Britishers, please brush your teeth. Every time I think of Britishers, I think that some old lady is drinking some tea, and she has a bad yellow dark brown teeth. I like British comedy though. Anyways, let's not go away from the topic. So this was this. Take what you want from this. I cannot make anything from this history. I've done the Berbers and Aztecs, but this is what is this? Such a mix up of everything. There's Celts, Saxons, Angles, Vikings, Christians, Danes, and what the hell, Wessex. I've played Saxons in Total War Attila. Anyone else left to mention? Wessex, Norwegian, Wallace of Normandy. Who else? Williams at Hastings. Okay. By the way, did you guys know William Wallace had a 4.5 feet long sword, and he himself was like 5.5 feet. So his sword was as tall as, as big as his height, almost. So when he wore his sword on his back, his sword like touched the ground sometimes, like a shovel. Like a shovel behind the pull. What do we call it? I don't know. That guy was courageous to say the least. I really love Wallace's story. It's very inspiring and very sad at the same time. Wallace was captured by the landowners, whoever they were, British people, and he was persecuted in the end. But he did a lot of battles and won like stupidly. I've seen that guy's movie of William Wallace, his love story with whoever she was. You should watch that movie. It's a fun movie. Anyway guys, thank you for watching my video. If you like this, please leave a like. Please follow my channel. Follow me on Twitch for more future videos. And thank you for watching guys. I'll see you next time. Bye bye.